Hi y'all, it's Susie. Welcome back to my craft room. I'm so excited to be here this morning. I actually feel a little bit better today. Of course, it's early and I'm just getting started, so my hip hasn't had a chance to really kick in gear yet. So I wanted to go ahead and get started and go through these pieces because I'm really, really excited about them. I think you're going to love them. Um, so the first one I want to show you, now this is not attached yet because this is not the ribbon that I will eventually use. This was just the first piece of ribbon that I grabbed to put on here. But this is the principle of it, is, you would have a closure on it of some kind. I'm probably going to make, I have an idea in mind how I want to decorate this. And so I'm probably going to use a piece of twine, like the burlap color twine, to tie this up with. So anyway, let me show you what it looks like. When you open it up, it looks like just a regular small little journal, right? Well, it is, except you turn it over and you have a little journal on the back. So it's the same number of pages. It's like, what, 8 pages in each little section. So you have 3 different sections of journaling spots. So when you look at it like that, it looks like an M or a W, like that. So I just think that's adorable. And I left my strings long where I sewed it in because I'm going to attach, maybe not to all 3 of them, but I'm going to attach definitely something to some of these, to maybe one on this end and one over here, some little dangly bits or something on here. So anyway, these are really, really simple to make. I think you'll really, really enjoy them. So let's just get to it. All right, you're going to take a piece of your copy paper. I'm not your copy. Your double thickness copy paper or your cardstock, and cut it in half. Long ways, not in short ways, but in long ways. So you can actually make 2 of these out of one whole piece of paper cut in half. So I went ahead and cut this in half, and then you're going to take and cut um, 3 whole pieces of just your regular copy paper, coffee dyed copy paper, whatever you want to use, scrapbook paper. And you're going to take these and you're going to cut them in half, like, grab a piece of paper, sorry about that. So you're going to take and, fold it in half, cut it in half, whatever, but you're going to cut, not this way, I'm sorry. You're going to cut it in half long ways again, just like you did this. So you're going to cut that in half or tear it in half, however you want to get it in half. And then you're going to take this and you're going to tear it in half or cut it in half, however you want to get it in half. Didn't much matter. So I went ahead and did this like this. Now once you get all of your pages, I've already done the other ones, but I just wanted to show you how to do it. So once you get all of these down to this size, then you're going to take each piece and fold it up. And each section will have 4 pieces of paper in it. So basically what it is you're using one whole sheet of paper to make each little signature in your book. So once you have that, and I've got all 3 of my pieces, put inside of each other, so now I'm ready to go on this. So now what we want to do is we want to take this and I'm sorry I got quiet on you for a minute. Alright, we're going to take this piece and we're going to fold it in half. I forgot what I was doing for a minute. And then once you get it folded in half, you're going to take this side and fold it back on itself like this. And then you're going to take this piece and fold it back on itself like this. And so what you end up with is your your W or your M, however you want to look at it. And then you're going to take these and you'll put this in here. And this I have a little bit long, so I'm going to need to trim. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's just a little bit, well, it's a little tiny bit long, so I'm going to have to trim that off. But from top to bottom, it fits well. So, and I don't even have to worry about that if I don't want to, because I could always, put a piece of ribbon or something up here and it would cover it. Nobody would know the difference. But then, I would probably need to do it, on each side of everything. So I'll just trim them off. So I'm going to stick one in there, and I'm going to stick one in here, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to stick one in here. That's all there is to it, literally. And then you're going to sew each of your signatures in. And just open them up to the middle. Make sure they're in the fold real good, and sew each one of your signatures in. And that's all there is to it. And then you can put whatever closure around it that you want to. Now, you may want to, let's say I'm going to use this ribbon, which I'm not. I may want to take this after I have my signatures and maybe put a little spot of glue there and glue this ribbon so that it doesn't come off, so that you don't lose your ribbon. You don't want to glue it around because you got to open it this way too. So you just want a little spot of glue back here. Now, if you use a thinner ribbon than what this is, you probably, want to take, a little word phrase or image of some sort, to place over where you have your glue, because sometimes that glue will show through. And that's all there is to it. And then once you, get it like you want it there, then you can just tie it up in a bow. Or you can, put little eyelets. Well, no, that wouldn't work because this would pop open. No, you're going to have to tie it closed with something. I didn't think that through very good, did I? But yeah, just, put a piece of ribbon, twine, baker's twine, whatever you have, whatever you want to use on there. And it's cute, 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 cute. That's really all there is to that one. So I wanted to do that one first because it was quick and easy and it's fun, and I really enjoy doing these. It takes, about 5 minutes to sew the signatures in. Now, what I will recommend is that you take a piece of card or fabric or whatever you have and reinforce your seams. Just because, you're going to be opening and closing it. But because this is thick to me, I'm not going to worry about it on here. I did on this one. I took a little piece of card and cut it, to just a little bit shorter than the size, and I put it in each one of the seams, and that way it just kind of reinforces them. When you sew it down, it makes them just a little bit firmer. And now you can, I sewed it so that the strings came out of the middle, and I wish I had done it where the seams, where the strings come out the back, because I think that would have been cuter to have them hanging down from here. So on this one, that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to, start from the back and go in instead of starting from the front. Do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch and call it done. So that's my recommendation for me. However y'all want to sew them in, that's up to you. Bind them up however you want to, or don't bind them. But I think that is really, really cute, like in a journal pocket, or just to give somebody a nice little stocking stuffer, something, to give your mom or grandma for a little Christmas list, and maybe have your kids write down before you give it to your mom or their grandma or whatever. Make them write on each page what they want for Christmas or something, and if you only have 3 kids, and that would be a section for each kid. And if you have 5 kids, and just divide it up however you want to, just so grandma will have something to go by, or mom or dad, or just and this would make a great little booklet to put in your purse, or even in your wallet. It doesn't take up that much room, just to write notes on. Grocery list, meeting notes, sermon notes, whatever you want to. So anyway, I really like that. All right, so now this one, I've got to back up a little bit, and I do need my instructions for this one because the measurements get just a little bit hairy. Remember, I told you our next project was going to be a little bit hairy, so if I don't kind of go by my directions, then I'm going to be lost as a goose, because I get confused on getting the smaller cuts done. So what I did was I took a full sheet of the double thickness coffee dyed paper, or you can use your cardstock, and I actually cut that in half, like short end, from the short end. So I did that. So I'm going to take my first piece, and then I'm going to mark, well actually I'm going to find the middle of this piece. I don't want to fold this down, I just want to find the middle. And I can't find the middle, so bear with me just a moment. And I'm just going to put a little bitty crease right here so I know where my middle mark is. And I'm going to mark that. And then I'm going to measure out 1.5 inches this way and 1.5 inches that way from my mark. Now G does hers a little bit different. She measures from the outside, but when I did that, I did not end up with a 3-inch piece in the middle, so that didn't work out too well for me. But so this is the way that I like to do it. All right, now, so then I'm going to bend this paper back on my marks, and you want to make sure your edges, are even at the bottom and the top, so that you get, nice even fold. And I'm going to take and do the same thing with this mark. I didn't even show you what this piece is going to look like when we're finished. So this is it folded up. So you open this up like that. And then you open this. Oops, I had it upside down. And then you have a little tiny journal in here. Isn't that cute? Now, G didn't do it, but I added pockets here, here, and back here. So that's kind of a Susie thing, but G just made the little thing, and then I added just the little pockets that I thought that I would want on here. And so that is all there is to that. But it's cute. It would look very nice, paper clipped onto a journal or into a journal or stuck in a pocket. It doesn't take up very much space. Well, now I can't get the ribbon closed. You could even put a pocket on the back if you wanted to. There's all kind of different things that you could do with that. So anyway, that's what it looks like finished. So now that I have that folded, and I didn't do a very good job on that. Now that I have this folded like that, I want to turn it. If this was decorative paper, it's going to matter which way it's going to be. But since this is not, this is just fun this way. But if you had decorative paper that you just folded backwards, then you're going to take it and turn it back around and fold it this way. Now, you probably want to, because you're going to sew a journal in here, put a piece of card or a piece of fabric or, something on this left-hand seam, because that's where you're going to be sewing your signature into. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our other piece, and from this end, we're going to cut off a strip just under 3 inches, because that's going to fit in between. So just under 3 inches. I'm going to go like a 1/16 of an inch shorter. I'm telling y'all, my eyes are crooked. I couldn't do a straight line if I wanted to. Well, dang it. Still don't know where I am. Okay, so I've cut this off. Then off of this strip right here, I'm going to cut 2.5 inches off of that, and then another 2.5 inches. So I'm going to start with 2.5 inches first. Okay, then I'm going to cut off another 2.5 inch piece. don't throw this little piece out, because you might be able to use it in just a minute. Alright, so now we have these pieces, and what we're going to do with these is we are going to take these and we are going to make flaps out of them. So you want to make sure that you're putting your 3-inch size in here, because if you just do your 2.5, it's going to come way short. So make sure that you're doing your 3.5, and these are going to make your flaps on the top and the bottom. So just apply a little bit of glue and put those down. Making sure that, it comes in between those fold lines so it don't get hung up in there. When you try to close it, it doesn't interfere with that. Okay. I'm going to put this one on here. Come like that. Now, if you wanted to, you could round your corners. My corner rounder is big. It's like, for a bigger piece of paper, and so it's just not small enough. But if you have a smaller one, you could absolutely round your corners, or you can do it by eye. If I do it by eye, I'm going to take, something small and kind of trace around it, because I just don't see straight. So anyway, that makes your flaps. Now, when you go to fold your flaps down, of course, you want them to be dry first. You don't want to fold all the way to the edge of the paper. You want to come up just a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch, and then fold that down. You want just to leave a little bit of room, kind of like, when we're making envelopes, we leave some room. Well, on this, we're going to leave just a little bit of room too. Alright, same for the other end. At this point, it doesn't matter which end's the top end and which end's the bottom end, unless you're using decorative paper. If you're using decorative paper, you need to make sure that, your decorative side is going up, and if you did these out of decorative paper, you want to make sure that this is also going up as well. So, does that make sense? And on this piece, uh-oh, that one's not dry. On this piece, when it folds down, do you want this to be up, or do you want it to be down? That's up to you how you do it. I would prefer it to be up, so that when it's closed, everything is going in the same direction, like up. That's just how I would do it, but you do it however you want to. Should have used some 3-in-1. It would have dried already. I said you just want to leave a little bit of room when you fold those. Okay, now you may want to use a bigger piece than this. I did for this one, but it really doesn't matter unless your hole puncher is going to be a problem for you. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to cut this piece in half. And then we'll see if it's still going to be big enough. And I'm going to fold each of these in half again. Alright, and then we're going to take these, each one, and open it back up a little bit, and kind of find the center. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. And you're going to want to glue that down here. And what this is going to do is it's just going to give this flap some reinforcements, because we're going to put the holes in this. And so when you have your twine or your ribbon or whatever in there, when you go to tie it, you're not, pulling it through your paper. So it just gives it a little extra thickness. So you definitely want to use cardstock or, double thickness copy paper for this as well. And you can make this, of course, out of whatever paper you cut so that it all matches. Or you can use, a contrasting piece, however you want to do it. No rules, remember, we just kind of do this as we want to. So I'm going to kind of put that in the middle, kind of, sort of. Okay, I'm going to do the same for this one. Oh, dog is down there hugging on my leg. I don't know what's up with him. Kind of in the middle. See if that's kind of lined up, kind of, sort of. Okay, we'll let that dry for a minute. Now, you're going to take, how many sheets did I have? Probably be easier just to count them. Took 2 sheets of copy paper and cut them in half. And so, you know, this was like this, and I just cut them in half. So once you cut them in half, then you're going to take them this way and cut them in half. Does that make sense? So I want this to actually be that size. So I'm just going to cut all of these in half. You can do it one at a time. You can do it all at the time. You can tear them instead of cutting them, however you want to do it. I really do like tearing, and you know what? I after I lost my mother, I went to it's called Art is Medicine. It's like a kind of a therapy group. And the counselor was having, we were actually working on a collage piece, and she said, you know, tearing is actually very good therapy. So anytime that you're kind of in a mood or, you know, whatever, tear some paper, you know, and there's therapy in tearing paper. I don't know why, but anyway. So once you have these cut in half, and remember, you know, we cut this the short way. Remember, like I said, you know, this was a full piece of paper, opened up like that. So once we get that cut in half, then we're going to go from the long side to cut in half. Once we get all these cut in half, then we're going to take and fold them all in half. And put them inside of each other, of course, to make our little journal. Set my coffee. My asthma has not been doing a whole lot better. And I did take a breathing treatment this morning, so hopefully I'm going to make it through this video without... If y'all want to know the truth, I need the dust in here. I'm allergic to dust, and it sets me off. But if y'all's craft room looks anywhere like mine, dusting is like a week-long process. I mean, there is stuff everywhere, and I have so many shelves in here. Somebody suggested that I show y'all my craft room. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. It's so bad. I'm so embarrassed. I'd die if anybody came over here and went in here. Of course, you know, my friend comes over, but he's not allowed to come in here. Alright, so anyway, that's that. So once you have this done, like I said, I suggest that you put a piece of fabric or a piece of card, and we'll just pretend like I did that, you know, cut it so that it fits within there, glue it down, and then you're going to want to line this up. And of course, I didn't tell you this, but make sure that your pages are going to fit between your folds, you know, before you take the time to fold them all, because it's easier to trim them when they're bigger. And this one is going to be just fine. And then you can sew your little journal right in there. And that's all there is to that. So then you want to take your hole puncher and find just about the center. And punch a holes. In the center-ish, I guess. Well, that's not working out too well for me, is it? Okay. Yeah, I made a mess of that. I can put a hole reinforcer around it if it doesn't look right with the ribbon on it. Alright, about center. These hole punches are so old. Yeah, I need to sharpen them a little bit or get some new ones or something. Okay, so that's all there is to it. So we're going to pretend like this is sewn in too. And so we're going to close this up. We're going to close this up. Put your ribbons in there. And you want your ribbons to be long enough that when you, so that you can tie them and make a pretty little bow in there. So, like I said, on the one that I did, I just cut an extra little piece. You've got this piece left over. So I just took and cut, just maybe, a fourth off of this. So probably what I did was I put it in half. I don't remember, but it's what it looks like. Probably cut it in half and then took and cut that in half again and made a pocket here and a pocket here. And then that would leave this much left over. And then I just cut a piece off and made a pocket here, which would have gave me enough to actually put a pocket on the back. So that is probably, what I'll do with this one is just stick a little pocket on back here with my piece that's left over. Because I will end up putting pockets on the inside. I like pockets. I don't think you can ever have enough pockets. So, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I actually finished this video before it cut off on us. Can y'all believe that? I mean, shock, shock. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope you're inspired to make some. Go back and, and craft along with me. Pause it until, you get your steps done, and then go back, turn it back on and just continue on. I'm really excited about these. Gi is so brilliant, and she comes up with the absolute best ideas and the cutest little pieces. So I just hope that, y'all will try them. Please go visit her channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to her channel. I will put the link below. Also, if you would support her social media accounts. If you haven't joined her Facebook group, you need to run over there and do that, because every Friday she does a Friday freebie where, you can print out her Friday freebies, and they are gorgeous. Of course, everything she does to me is gorgeous. And then, of course, she's on Instagram as well. And of course, I'll put those links down below. So if you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Please like this. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe now. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all my subscribers, the ones that have been with me from, the start and have come on board since, and all my brand new subscribers. I'm just growing so quickly, and I just thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You just don't know how much it means to me. Okay, so I will do the second part of day 10 in a little bit. I'm going to take a break so that I don't overdo, and then I'm going to copy down a little bit of paper, and then I'm going to come back and make part 2 of day 10. So y'all, I will see y'all in a little bit. Bye now.